Hello and good morning. This is Holly Shields live from Kalkine Studios in Sydney, and you're watching the early trades. This is our market open report. Now, first up, the S&P ASX 200 is lower today, dropping 0.48%. The bottom-performing stocks in this index are MESOBLAST and Gold Road Resources, down 5.69% and 4.99%. Over the past 5 days, the index is virtually unchanged, but it's still down 4.68% for the last year-to-date period. Then looking at the stocks, Fortescue jumped 2.9%, Rio Tinto rose 2.4%, and BHP gained 1.5%. Then all the major banks were in the black, though only just. Inside Pivot was the top gainer, up 5%. Meanwhile, the tech sector declined 1.2% and energy stocks were down 0.6%, tracking a fall in oil prices. Now, for a look at some of the newsmakers from today, well, PSC Group, the insurance company, has received commitments to raise $80 million at a $4.50 price per share, representing 5.3% of a discount. Bell Potter and E&P Corporate Advisory are jointly leading the placement with proceeds to fund growth. According to PSC, it's considering acquisitions of the UK and Australian commercial broking business, and it started doing due diligence. The Insurance Australia Group is planning to raise around 400 million New Zealand dollars of subordinated Tier 2 notes to New Zealand retail and professional investors to meet regulatory capital requirements. And meanwhile, Virtus Health has entered into a trading halt pending an announcement in relation to ongoing matters pertaining to proposals to acquire the company. Virtus shares are expected to remain on hold until next Tuesday. And yesterday, BGH Capital failed in its latest attempt to convince the Takeovers panel to force Virtus to consider their offer in parallel with the proposal from rival suitor CapVest Partners. Less than a week ago, BGH took its Virtus to the panel for the second time in a week in a bid to gain access to the company's data room and prevent the company from dealing exclusively with CapVest. And in other news, Breville Group has acquired Italian-based prosumer specialty coffee group Lillet for €113 million. That is $168.9 million. Half of the consideration will be paid in cash, and the other half by issue of fully paid ordinary shares in Breville, priced at $27.64 a share, which will be subject to a 5-year trading halt post-completion. The cash portion will be funded from existing cash reserves and debt facilities. And key members of the Lillet Group management team, including the founders, have agreed to join with Breville Group. And in other news, Nickel Mines has withdrawn its share purchase plan effective immediately, citing the traction in the company's share price and current market volatility. Nickel Mines' share price dropped 13.2% on Thursday, that is today, after being forced to halt trading of the day prior to a pending statement to the market that its major shareholder, that is Tsingshan Group, has no intention of selling any Nickel Mines shares after the Chinese company was caught up in the LME nickel squeeze. Nickel Mines said applications for SPP had far exceeded the $18 million of targeting amount and had totaled around $57 million. Doug Jones has assumed day-to-day operational leadership in Metcash. In other news, taking over from retiring Chief Executive Jeff Adams. In October, Metcash announced that Jones, formerly CEO and Senior VP of South African-based Massmart Wholesale, would succeed Jeff Adams as Chief Executive. Jones joined Metcash on the 1st of February and has been working closely with Jeff to ensure a smooth and seamless transition. Adams will remain in place as the retiring Group Chief Executive to support Jones until his departure in October. And over to the banks now, and the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Philip Lowe said an interest rate increase is plausible this year, but not guaranteed. It would be prudent to plan for an increase. The governor, who was speaking at a banking conference in Sydney, commented on climate change. Well, that is all for now on the early trades, but tune in next time only on Kalkine TV. This is Holly Shields signing off.